Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhat Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing now the Yoga Vasistha, and we are doing now the 6th chapter of the Yoga Vasistha Sara Sangraha, the book by Swami Tejamayanji, who has collected 86 slokas of the Yoga Vasistha. And we are doing now in the 6th chapter, the Rama asks question in terms of what are the obstacles for self-realization. And we start first with the invocation sloka of Yoga Vasistha. Yatas sarvani bhutani pratibhanti stitani cha yatraivopashamam shanti tasmai satyatmane namaha. So in the 6th chapter, Shri Raama asked the question. We had this one talk yesterday, but unfortunately the power went off in the last minute. I don't know whether it got stored or not. We'll just give summary and then go to the next talk. And Shri Raama asked the first fundamental question after listening to the self-realization, how to do it, and what are the steps involved. Then he asked question after contemplating and realizing what happens to the one who is not exposed to this. Mudasya prapta yogasya katam uttaranam bhaved. So he asked two questions. One is the one who has not even listened to these talks or listened to Vedanta and not even interested in it, and he goes on life after life and going on morning to evening, working hard and trying to make two ends meet, and one day kicks the bucket. And what happens to him? Because he doesn't know what is absolute truth and what's relative truth, all the Vedantic teaching that has been provided by Sage Vasistha. That's the first one. The second one is after listening and then progressing it in step by step, because there are 7 steps in the gaining knowledge, and without reaching the highest state of understanding, realization, he has kicked the bucket. That means he died in the process of without achieving the highest goal. What happens to him? That was the second question. And this is the same question was asked by Arjuna in the Gita. And about the first case where he has not even heard of Vedanta, not even the recognition of the problem, and he lives, this is all the life is, and eat and sleep and enjoy, and one day kick the bucket. And that's Charvaka philosophy. And basically what happens to him? Says he will continue this process, and he says until he gets a little bit of education and start questioning what is it, he will go on and on and on, life after life after life. Therefore, the Janmantara Shataihi, he may live hundreds of lives until the beginning of Vedanta takes place, until the beginning of inquiry, or until a questioning mind, what's the purpose of life and what good is this? I'm trying to solve a problem, I want to become happy, but this is not seem to be a best way of doing it. So he wants to know, and then the methodology starts, and until the desire to know, then he will be continuing life after life. Shankara says in the Viveka Sudamani, there is the Nayogena na Sankhena Karmana Nona Vijaya Brahmatmaikatva Bodhena Moksha Siddhati Nanyatha. says, na yogena na sankhya, neither by yoga, this practice of any yoga, Patanjali yoga, na yogena na sankhyena, or just by inquiring in terms of this, na yogena na sankhyena karmana, by activities, however noble they are, and nona vidyaya, and any amount of just studies will not help. And brahmatmaikatva bodhena moksha siddhati na anyatha. Only liberation comes by Brahma Atma Aikya Bodham. That means the Mahavakya Bodha alone will give liberation. Otherwise, nothing will give. That is why Shankara says in the Vivekasudamani. Here, that beginning, once you start questioning it, then slowly one will be led to an appropriate teacher. So even finding an appropriate teacher is a teacher of highest reality is difficult indeed, and that's why Manushyatvam, Mamukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samsrayam, Durlabham Trayamevaitatu, Daivanugraha Hetukam. Even to be born as a human being is difficult, because there are 80,000 types of species of life forms are there, and human being is only one life form. And to be born in that, where you have a rational intellect to think and to understand and question, that is rare indeed. And to be born as that and desire to know, that's what we are talking about, is also rare among the, even though you are born as a human being, it's only Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatasi Siddhaye. Of thousands of people, very people are really interested in this. And that is really due to the grace of God only. And even those who are interested, a right pursuit and right Mahatma to find out is indeed even more rare, and therefore these are Daivanugraha Hetukam. It's only by the blessing of the gods. Gods are always blessed provided he deserves it. So that means one has to deserve. And how do we deserve? By slowly questioning your mind and thinking about subtler things to prepare the mind in the previous lives, so that the mind becomes ready for this knowledge. And in the Avadhuta Gita, Dattatreya says, Ishwaranugrahadeva pumsam Advaita vasana. Only by Ishwaranugraha only a human being has the Advaita vasanas to know about Advaita, because of the Ishvara's grace only. So you have Dvaita, Vasistha Advaita, and so many other philosophical positions, and which one was to be led to, or how am I going to get Advaita? It's only by Ishvara Anugraha eva. So the one who has no interest, he will be living life. That's what we have been doing, life after life after life, until our punyam is mature enough that we were led to an appropriate teacher. And the second case is essentially Vairagya abhyudate jantaha avasham bhumikodayaha ato nasyati samsara. It is shastrartha sangraha. So once I have the dispassion, hey, what good is this life, and I want to evolve further, this is not the way I am doing. I may earn, and I may give all other, I may live a very moral life, but that's not sufficient. I need to inquire what is the absolute truth. So for that, I have to give up all other things that are not necessary and go on. This is a story of a peace pilgrim in the Google, if you find out. In 1950s, there was an American lady, and she was not really religious, and suddenly she thought, why do I need all this? What is the purpose of this life? And I don't need this. She started Vairagyam, dispassion. So she started, I says, I want to keep only what is essential, and I want to give away everything. She started giving as she was giving away, she found out that she doesn't even need things that she thought are needed. So ultimately she gave everything other than a pair of dresses and shoes that she was wearing, and the thought she thought is needed, and she started walking out of the house He says, let me walk and find some shelter somewhere, and if somebody gives food, I'll eat, and that's all I need. I don't need the rest of it. So that's how a parivrajaka, that means a renunciate, has born in her mind. It is, and she was doing it and preaching whatever that she says, do good things and peace. Peace is that's why she's called Peace Pilgrim. And she even met the president at that time, Roosevelt or so. So she was preaching, walking all over the United States and with a barefoot, and sleeping in the, either it's in the churches or in the bus stations or wherever she could find, and washing one cloth and another one wearing. That's all she had. And people used to give her food, and there are more and more people appreciated her teaching and way of living. So that was, if you go to Google, and you can find all about her. And in fact, her teaching is very close to Vedanta, even though she doesn't know any Vedanta. So the knowledge comes to her, even though she may not know Brahmatma Ekatva Bodham, but at least she knows what is the highest reality enough to guide others also. So Vairagyam Abhyudate Idantaha Avasham Bhumikodaya. The steps automatically will start coming one by one as one progresses, as one gives away the so-called the ownership of things that we never really own it. And tato nasyati samsara. In the process, the samsara gets destroyed. This is what the Shastras say. Iti Shastrartha Sangraha. That's why we stopped, and we'll do now the sloka 4 in this chapter 6 of this, the Yoga Vasistha Sara Sangraha, that available in Chinmaya Mission. We'll do sloka 4 now. Yoga bhumikayot kanta, yoga bhumikayot kanta, jivitasya saririnaha, jivitasya saririnaha, bhumikam sanusarena, bhumikam sanurarena, shiyate purva dushkrutam, shiyate purva dushkrutam. Together. Yoga bhumikayat kanta, yoga bhumikayot kanta, jivitasya saririnaha, bhumikam shanusarena, shiyate purva dushkrutam. So the question was asked, what happened to all the sins that I have committed in the past lives? Because I have wrong tendencies and the vasanas are there, so much of vasanas are there. How do I, and how do they prevent, or how do I get rid of them? It says here is the response by the Sage Vasistha in response to the question of Shri Raama. Yoga bhumika, yoga bhumikaya utkranta jivitasya. So one whose life has passed through some of the steps of yoga. Bhumika is the steps that we discussed in the last chapter of 7 steps. So each is a step, and as you proceed in the step, and Rama's question is, what happens if we didn't reach all the way through? And some of the, because of the vasanas are still lingering. So here the Vasistha assures that, says, those who have gone through some steps in the past, Saririnam, the one who is embodied one, that means one who feels that I am this body, Bhumika Amsha Anusharena. So according to the steps discussed in the yogas, there are 7 steps where one goes from one step to the other. Depending upon the steps, he proceeds from that only. Anusarena, in accordance with the steps of reached by him, Chiyate, it get destroyed. Purva Dushkrutam, all the sins of the past will get destroyed as he proceeds further. That means once you have set forth in that, the previous vasanas get destroyed slowly, one by one. It may take long time depending on the type of vasanas and intensity of the vasanas. So what the Swami Paramarthananda calls it as FIR reduction. Slowly FIR gets reduced as you go. FIR means the frequency of perturbation of the mind due to previous vasanas, the intensity of perturbation of the mind due to past vasanas, and the recovery time from those will keep decreasing as the mind abides in these steps one by one until it gets mature. So nothing will be lost in the process of evolution of the mind. This is an assurance, and this is essentially what Krishna also says in the Gita. He says, Nahi kalyana krutu kaschitu durgatim tata gacchati. So Krishna says is that Nahi kalyana krutu, whatever the auspicious actions that are done, they will not get destroyed, and he will not go durgati. He will not fall down anymore, and he will be evolving slowly, and gadim tata gacchati, because he has set his move. It's called, that's the path of the river. Path of the river is, river wants to go and join the ocean, and if it is a small obstacles, it gurgles forth, happily jumps over. But if it is unsurmountable obstacles like a mountains or something, she goes gracefully around it, even taking the backward path in order to come out of that obstacle and then reaches back again. So as long as one set his goal, then goal is that I want to realize this is not the way to do. But once that seed has come, it will germinate and it will slowly come, as long as it will go faster if the fertilizers and everything else is conducive for its growth. If not, it will go slowly. But it will eventually go, and that's what essentially Krishna says. And also, this is what the Vasistha also saying here. Krishna says, in fact, the karma yoga itself, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato mahat. Even a little bit of this process itself will take you a long way. So that's an encouraging statement for the people who are proceeding in that, never to give up. One day you will succeed. There will be ups and downs because of past vasanas and so on and so forth. But eventually, if you stand apart and let it go, then dukkeshu anudvigna manaha, it says. So the slowly a withdrawal comes, and you start giving up all those, the tendencies to go after the temporary sense enjoyment will go away, and the seeker will slowly evolve out of all the sins. That is purva dushkrutam. All the sins of the past will be slowly neutralized, and that's what is essentially said. Now what about the punyam, the merits that are done in the past? They can also obstruct, right? What happens to them? So he says that will also be exhausted. He says, Punya lokeshu sancharat, Punya lokeshu sancharat, Sukrutepi kshayam gate, Sukrutepi kshayam gate, Suchinam srimatam gehe, Suchinam srimatam gehe, Jayate yoga vasitaha, Jayate yoga vasitaha. Punya lokeshu sancharat. So what happens to the punyam that he has done, and how does that go? It says it will go by going to higher lokas where he can get exhausted. So Shine punye martulokam vishanti. You go to Swargaloka or you go to higher loka, enjoy those, because those are exhaustive mechanisms. There you don't accumulate new ones, or you will evolve there. You have to come back to karma bhumi, where you will be born again, and you will again proceed in terms of appropriate actions in that. Therefore everybody wants to give born as a human being so that he can evolve. In the other lokas there are more exhaustive mechanism, where in the higher lokas you exhaust the punyam, in the lower lokas you exhaust the papam. So therefore punya lokeshu sancharat. So he will be passing through different lokas depending upon the vasanas, until you go to Brahma loka. And if you only punyam and not interested in Vedanta, you will come back again. But if you have interest in Vedanta also along with the punyam, as you are staying in the Vedanta, there will be Vedanta classes by Brahmaji also. He takes once in 32 years. So, according to in the Chandogya, where Brahmaji announces that he is starting classes, and he said 2 people registered and 1 fellow dropped also. So Indra continues, and the class starts with once in every 32 years, I think. And at last Indra realizes. So Punya Lokeshu Sanchara Sukrute Pichayam Gate. And the merits also get exhausted too, in that major merits are that which cannot be exhausted otherwise will get exhausted there. And because because he has already progressed not just with the merits but also interest in the Vedanta also is there. Therefore, he says Suchi Nam Srimatam Gete. So since he has the merits and also his mind is purified, so he will be born in a conducive family, rich enough to support and also rich enough to encourage Vedantic study also. So Suchinam Srimatam Gehe and Jayate Yoga Vasistha. So he will be born in the yogis' houses where a conducive environment is provided for you to rapidly progress. If you look at the great Mahatmas, even Shankara was born in a conducive environment for his rapid growth itself. In the same way, the sudden changes in life will propel them into higher path. If you look at the great life histories of some of the people, suddenly turn takes place and he will be led to the higher path. Even Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, he was born and he was doing everything, and then suddenly he saw somebody, his uncle or somebody died, and everybody is crying, and he says he wanted to know what is death. The curiosity to know comes because of some previous samskara only. Not that everybody will get and not everybody experience that. Because he has already those vasanas and those tendencies, this is only triggering mechanism initiated by the previous punya karma. So he had the Vedantic study because he didn't need to study much, because he knew enough that he proceeded further rapidly. So Suchi Ram Srimatam Gehe Jayate Yoga Vasistha. So he will be born in a conducive family. And Krishna says the same statement. So Athava Yogina Kule Bhavati Dhimatam. So says otherwise, that means either he will be going through different lokas, or if the power, that realization that is more propelling that even to exhaust the vasanas of the punya loka, then he will be born in a yoginam kule, in the yogi's house, where he can proceed immediately. So this, in fact, we see even many acharyas or many great mahatmas who suddenly turned into Vedanta and proceeded so beautifully, not because they just started, because they have purva janma samskara was there, the seeds of evolution was there, and they have to be born just enough to satisfy and take a detour in order to exhaust. So we have stories in the Jadabharata stories in the Vedanta, where because of some reason they get a detour and they again come back, and it may take a couple of janmas in order to back into the stream where they will proceed rapidly. So these things will happen. It may take only one life, it may take a couple of lives, depending upon the intensity of the perturbation in the mind. So mind has to be repurified, and that will take rapidly because of the previous samskara will help in that. Even Gajendra Moksha, the previous life samskara was there with the Gajendra for him to think of the Lord Narayana at that time when he desperately that he cannot do himself. Then only he talked about, oh Lord, please, Lavokkintayu ledu, Zaidiyam will olambaye, Tavundappena Mutsavatsa. So he starts saying, I'm getting exhausted, I cannot fight anymore, please save me. That is when the Lord Narayana, even Sirikinjapadu, Sankachakra Gamam, these are in the Telugu Bhagavatam, where he doesn't even tell the Lakshmi, and the Lakshmi Dupata was in his cot, and he was running, and Lakshmi was running, and Garuda was running, everybody is running because he wanted to save his disciple. That shows the desire for the Lord to save his disciples, those who have surrendered to him. So, Ananyas Chintayanto Mayajana Paryupasate Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam Yogatshemam Vahamyaham. That is a guarantee. See, if you don't think anything other than me, then I will come to your rescue. Even the Draupadi Sharanagati also, where she was holding one hand and she calls, "Oh Krishna, oh Dwarakavasa." Dwarakavasa, oh one who is in the Dwaraka. So Krishna took his own time because he has to come from Dwaraka, because she said she is Dwarakavasa. So Draupadi asked, why did you take that long? Because I am in your heart. Why didn't you call me there? But you asked me to come from Dwaraka, so it took some time. So Lord is there in your own heart. So how long it takes for him to come? Immediately he will come, provided I recognize that Lord is there in your heart. If Lord is only in the Vaikuntha, then it takes some time. Anyway, those are the interesting the stories. It may be true, but question is that there is salvation and guaranteed by Krishna himself, that one will be evolving and he will be born in a conducive environment. And you see, Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanavan Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Janma is very durlabha. It's very difficult indeed to be born like that in a conducive environment for him to rapid growth. And everybody cannot get that lucky, but it's not lucky, it is because in the previous life one has to do. So one should not be worried about it. It says, I am going to evolve and realize this life itself. That should be the determination, and whether realize or not, that is his problem. If you leave it, then realization will come. If you are worried about it, then it will take a lot more time. So once you are born in the conducive environment, what happens to him? Is Sloka 6 will discover now. Tata paripatat yuchaihi, tata paripatat yuchaihi, uttaram bhumikatrayam, uttaram bhumikatrayam, bhumikatritayam tvetad, Bhumika Tritayam Tvetadu Ramajagraditi Smrutam Ramajagraditi Smrutam Tata Paritata Yuchaihi Uttaram Bhumikatrayam Bhumika Tritayam Tvetadu Ramajagraditi Smrutam. So Tataha, thus, so Paripatati Uchaihi, raising towards the higher, slowly, wherever he was left in the previous, that's exactly where he will start, because nothing will be lost and everything will be there. Even those little ups and downs, he will be starting in essentially somewhat in the similar step and proceed from there on, and then go to the next step from now. So he says nothing will be lost in this process of evolution, provided as seeds are there inserted and he is going one step to the next step, and that progress is there. So this will carry on in the next life also, where he will proceed from the now. So this is the guarantee of this. So one should not worry about it, what's going to happen. Leave it to the Lord himself, but proceed with the full determination that I am going to realize in this life, because this is the life that I have already given and I have to make use of it. That should be the attitude. And even in the last minute before death, one can realize that's a guarantee by the Lord himself. Prayana kalepi, even in the last minute, and that's why Nachiketa went all the way to the Lord of Death to get educated into Vedanta. So Lord of Death is almost like a dying man. Lord, the death himself comes and teaches, and that is the glory of Vedanta. So tataha paripatat uchaihi uttaram bhumika trayam. So rises towards the subsequent subsequent steps he will take about. Bhumika trayam. So the three stages of the steps. So what are the three stages that you have to go? In a simple way of saying it is the waking state and the dream state and the deep sleep state. Go beyond all the three states, and that's what he called Turiyam, also the fourth state of that. And that's what his fourth state is. It is Cheturtam Manyante. It's called fourth state, but is Nanta Pragyam, na Bhai Pragyam, no Bhayata Pragyam, na Pragyana Ghanam, na Pragyam, na Pragyam, Adushtam, Vyavaharyam. All that. It says, not this, not this, not. You realize that none of this are you. It is something that enlivens all of that. And Bhumika Tridayam Tvetadu. So, this Bhumikas Tritayam Tvetadu, the three steps that are really final steps that are talking about are going to be established. Etad and Rama Jagratiti Srutam, as considered as the real waking state. All that so-called waking states, all other states are temporarily, relatively waking, and this is absolute waking, and where you realize that Aham Brahmasmi, that is the real awakening. Uttishta Jagrata Prapyavara Nibodata Churasyadara Duratya Duggam Patana Kavayo Vadanti. Uttishta, get up, awake. Awake from where? You are still sleeping while you thought that your waking state is a real waking. This is only also sleeping because you are taking what you are not as you are. So get up, awake is the cry of the Upanishad itself, and that's essentially what Vasistha also says. We'll continue in the next talk. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.